this instructional video, we're going to be talking about multiple planes of attack. Now, when we talk about multiple planes, a lot of people wonder what's a plane, right?
Talking about an airplane? Or?
Well, not exactly. But, you know, it is one of those confusing things that people go, what do you mean by a plane? Well, this is not going to be a highly mathematical thing. Don't worry, there's no equations, no formula, or anything like that. You know, sometimes people worry when you start talking about that what a lot of people do when they set out to make an instructional video, they'll throw so many techniques on the video that a lot of times they're kind of all over the place on topics. I have a fairly decent library of martial arts videos, as I'm sure a lot of you do. And usually what happens is you get to the end of that and you watch the video all the way through. Usually the first time I watch it, I'm sitting at home or sitting in my office or something like that. And I watch this, and when I get done, I'm so blown away with how many different moves were covered that I don't really know where to begin. I find myself frustrated, and I end up going back and rewinding and playing it over and over and over, trying to figure out, okay, where do I begin? Do I take the first technique and grab a partner and walk through it exact or whatever? That's not really my approach. If you've seen any of my material before, you know that I tend to take something and go into it for on and on and on ad nauseum, as some people would say. It's a very different approach where my goal for you when you watch this video is when you finish watching it the first time through, I'd like for you to know exactly where to begin. You're going to see multiple planes of attack all the way throughout the movements. We'll do it for wrist grabs, we'll do it for pushes, punches, you know, all sorts of techniques, arm bars, you know, just a variety of things. To where what I want you to understand is that the principle of multiple players to the, or multiple planes of attack, or just players to the game in general, apply no matter what you do. It's not tied to one technique or a couple of techniques. It's not something that, okay, if I'm doing S-lock, then I use multiple planes of attack.
I think your point is well taken in that instead of getting bombarded with a whole lot of different things, you take the technique and concentrate on the technique, but layer the players on top of it and see how each player to the game intensifies the technique.
Exactly. My goal is when you get to the end of this video, toward the end of it, after you've seen the principle over and over and over again in different movements, I hope that when you get to a technique, you're kind of thinking ahead of me, saying, I bet he's going to do this. I bet, you know, this is going to be the multiple plane. This is how you incorporate it. If I succeed at that, then what's going to happen is when you go back to your school and you get your partner to work with them, you're not going to have to remember now which techniques did he apply this to, because you're going to be going back with the mindset of, hey, I can't wait to grab any technique, anything that we do, and make this work. And to be perfectly honest, you can take a technique that is just kind of so-so, a decent technique, and make it incredible just by applying the players to the game, and specifically applying the multiple planes of attack.